Get ready for the Squawking Eagles Podcast, the show that covers only the Philadelphia Eagles. Think different. Think Squawking Eagles Podcast.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Just leaving a quick message here. I couldn't make it for the normal recording of the podcast, so we'll give it a quick little shout out here for you guys. You can hear my opinions, even if none of you want to hear them. First off, I think the Eagles played a very good, complete game. A few little mistakes here or there overall, but I really like the way the Eagles attacked on defense, played really well on offense, just dismantled the Rams. I had a good game. I like Guantanamo Bay. Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean, both looked amazing. Jacoby Dean, Bond, both phenomenal at linebacker. Our team really just did a whole complete game against the Rams. This upcoming week, however, we are facing the Ravens, who just dismantled the Chargers, who were one of the leading defenses in the NFL, allowing some of the fewest points per game. So should be a pretty crazy matchup here, going up against an offense that's that potent. However, I still personally think we're going to come out on top. I think Eagles 38, Ravens 23, Birds with the win. Still, keep in mind that it's going to be a tight game, a good running game where I see the two leading rushers in the league against each other. And two of the, I guess Lamar is not quite a leading passer, nor is Hurts this year, but they're both phenomenal quarterbacks with some of the top, just top teams all around. So it's going to be a great game this Sunday. Obviously, we have three fun games early on Thursday with Thanksgiving Day. We have the Black Friday games. So there's a lot of football this week. Hope all of you enjoy the games. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And as always, go Birds.
Hello, and welcome to the Squawking Eagles Podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and today I'm joined by Miguel. How's it going, buddy?
What it do, my dude? I think Saquon's still running to multiple end zones around the league right now.
I think so. He ran all over the Rams.
He sure the hell did.
Boy, it was fun to watch. We preach about run the ball, win the game, run the league. The dude ran the ball, and he's running the league.
We are running the league. We definitely are running the league right now. Saquon with a franchise-setting, record-setting game, 255, I think 306, was it?
6, yeah, from scrimmage.
Yep. That's an impressive showing. 270-plus yard runs for touchdowns. You're just unstoppable, man. The line did its thing. They were able to control the defensive line. I mean, they are missing what was his name that was there on the Rams defense last year?
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald. They severely miss him. But, what a performance by Saquon, though.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I was watching a lot of the film on the offensive linemen, and Becton, they call him Highway 77 because he opens up a pathway for you to run down. He was on. He would block a lineman, and then he would be out and on top of a linebacker, throwing them into the ground. He was all over the place.
He came from the Jets, right?
Yeah.
He came from the Jets, and the Jets gave up on him as a tackle.
As a tackle,
grab up on him and he'd throw him in as guard. And next to Lane Johnson,
he's having a Pro Bowl year for sure.
Thank God, we need him to. No, I don't think anybody expected him to have the type of season he's having this year. But listen, man, New York teams are just giving away all-star players because not only Saquon, but I believe McKinney, the safety that the Giants let go, is also having a career year up in Green Bay. So
it's what happens when you leave New York, right? It's kind of both New York teams are pretty awful, to say the least.
Yeah.
And Aaron Rodgers has pretty much set the Jets franchise back 5 years. So
they've been back 5 years since Chad Pennington left.
Yeah, so Saquon Barkley sets the record, 255 rushing yards, breaks Shady McCoy's record. And then as he runs into the end zone, he throws the ball to people in the stands, not realizing it or remembering that he did it. Mm-hmm. And he asks the equipment guy on the sidelines, "Do you have the ball?" And the equipment guy goes, "No, you gave it away."
And he went back after the game, though, and got it, right?
He did. He was able to go back at the end of the game and give a couple signed things, and he got the ball back.
Yeah.
But what a performance. Stiff arming and just dodging people and just running away from people.
Just the way he just cuts on a dime and just takes off. It's just, whew.
Well, they kept talking about how much he's having fun again. He's having fun playing football.
That's good.
Yeah, I like it.
Thing. I mean, just think about it. When you're in a toxic workplace, do you really want to go to work? No. But, if you have a change of atmosphere, sometimes work is fun to go to.
Yeah. What would do you have a one word to describe that game?
Impressive.
Impressive. Yeah, that was definitely an impressive game. I would say dominant.
Yes.
I would say dominant because the Eagles showed their dominance on defense because look at those first two series for the Rams. It was a touchdown and a fumble, but they were moving the ball like at will.
They were.
And then the defense did some sort of adjustment, and it completely stopped what they were doing, and that was it.
Well, the refs kind of helped LA out in the beginning to move the ball into position to scores. So, I mean, it was just a matter of stop committing penalties and making tackles when we needed to make tackles. So,
did you notice how the head referee, when it was time to call a penalty on the Rams, he didn't want to? He was very hesitant. You notice that? You noticed that?
I did notice that. I'm like, why is he double checking, triple checking?
He was really they were doing their best to really push it towards the Rams, but the Eagles were able to. You can't push it. How many times can you call? They call some weird penalties too, right? They called a penalty on Darius Slay in the end zone. There was no penalty. There was no penalty on that.
No, that was just that was somebody hitting the Buffalo Wild Wings button just to make the game kind of interesting.
Yeah, for sure. But putting that game in the books puts the Eagles to 9-2. Yes. Moving 3 games ahead of the Washington Commanders, who lost, blew
their chance to stay in pace.
They have imploded. They have imploded. Losing to the Cowboys in a dramatic form, I would say. So they're sitting 9-2 in the top of the East in a collision course with the Baltimore Ravens this Sunday. Derrick Henry versus Saquon Barkley.
It's going to be interesting.
This is like a boxing match. It's almost like
this game is for the MVP title.
This is for the MVP title. This is for the rushing title. This is for the marbles for that, because I watched the game Monday night with the Ravens and Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Not impressed. Really not impressed. The Chargers are a scrappy team. They are pretty much the same roster as they were last year, except for a couple of new additions.
Right.
So for the Ravens to struggle against them, I think the Eagles can kind of contain Derrick Henry. I think they have to contain one or the other. They either contain Lamar Jackson and let Derrick Henry run, or contain Derrick Henry and let Lamar try to beat him with his legs. What do you?
I agree. I feel like this defense will be tested with what to do with Lamar Jackson. I mean, you're gonna have to have a spy on him. You're gonna have to go man on man on the receivers, because you're gonna have to keep everybody in to check that King Henry doesn't get the ball. As much, and you got to make the tackles. So, I mean, it's going to strain the defense, especially losing Brandon Graham. I know they just signed.
They signed 2 guys. They signed Charles Harris from the Panthers,
Right.
And they signed a KJ Henry he was off waivers from the Cowboys.
Right, but he was a first round pick like in 2017 or something like that, right?
2024? No, 2022, I think it was.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was later than that. But okay. I mean, who knows what kind of impact they're going to make? I doubt, if any. I expect to see a lot more of Nolan Smith.
I don't think we'll even see them on Sunday. We won't even see those guys.
No, definitely not. I mean, we might see one or two just to have them in there as breathers. Get the other guys some rest, depending on how long they're out there.
I'm a little worried, like losing Brandon Graham. Yeah, we didn't really think he was going to have a lot of snaps, but he was having a lot of snaps, and so it kept Josh Sweat's snaps down, because I think last year he was doing 60 or 65 snaps a game, and it was kind of wearing him out.
Yeah.
So there's going to definitely be an uptick in snaps for Sweat, who was he was kind of banged up too that game as well.
He was, but he's also just now finding his groove, because the first couple games he has been a no-show for a lot of those games.
Yeah.
But I feel in these last 3 to 4 games, he's kind of made more of an impact. The same thing goes for Nolan Smith. Like he had a slow year last year. And then this year he's kind of, matriculated into the rotation and has been able to get, I think he's got like 3 or 4 sacks already for the season.
Yeah, so, 4 sacks, I believe. Yeah,
so he's working his way in there. But I think the more reps that they get, the better they're gonna be.
100%. And I think Jalex Hunt is going to probably play a part too. I think he's going to have to start playing some more downs. I know he has been recently too.
Brandon Graham's been talking highly about him, so I mean, we haven't really seen him in game in season yet, so it's kind of hard to draw the same conclusions at Brandon. But I mean, Brandon's seen him at practice, so I'm guessing they've seen something positive in him.
Yeah, Brandon Graham. Losing him is going to be it's going to be a big loss, because of his his presence on the field, but also off the field too.
Right.
And I know he said he wants to be there on the sidelines. He probably won't be there this week because he has to have surgery soon. But he will be there, I'm thinking, within the next couple of weeks. And so it'll be good to have him on the sidelines, give him some, motivation, I'm sure. So moving on to the Ravens, missing Brandon Graham. Can the defense find a way to contain one of those guys and bring out a victory, or is it going to be the loss of Brandon Graham, and trying to figure out this game is going to have to dig themselves out of a hole? Like, what do you think?
I think it's going to be a difficult game. Like I said, we're going to struggle trying to contain, that whole offense and the things that they like to do. I mean, it's kind of holding up a mirror to ourselves pretty much, because, like I said, you got Henry over there, and we got Saquon. So it's like they got both teams have great running games. We have AJ. I don't know if Devontae is going to play this game. But they also have Likely, and what was the other kid over there? I forget the fast kid.
Zay Flowers.
Zay Flowers. They're pretty decent. They're not on the level of AJ Brown, but they get the job done. So like I said, then they got a good tight end, decent tight end who's got good hands. I can't remember.
Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews, right. So they present issues for us.
They do.
It's all going to be how Vic Fangio schemes it up for this. I mean, Lamar's a threat to run the ball every time, and if he's not running the ball, King Henry's going to get it, and then he just plows through people just as good as Saquon does.
True, and the Eagles do have a hard time. I do believe have a hard time tackling sometimes.
They've had issues tackling this year, yes.
And Derrick Henry is not that easy to tackle.
Nope.
So and he's a downhill runner. So they're going to try and run through the middle a lot. And once they find out they really can't do that with Milton Williams and Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter,
You're gonna go
He's
outside.
going to start going. He's going to go outside, and I'm sorry, but Quinyon Mitchell and Darius Slay, they're not going to stop Derrick Henry.
They're going to make business decisions on top of that because they're not trying to get hurt either. You know what I mean?
No, look at Darius Slay trying to take out who did he try to tackle? Somebody, and he knocked out. He was knocked out, and then as soon as he got knocked out, they picked on Rodgers and scored a penalty and then a touchdown on him.
Yep,
that was terrible.
Yeah, that was one. I mean, that was sad to see because I know during our preseason pods, I said I was going to be watching Isaiah Rodgers a lot to see how he was going to be doing on the field, and the moments that he's had on the field has not been impressive at all.
No, and like that punt that he ran into the kicker and the punter and all that stuff. It was like, no, he has not had the season I thought he was going to have.
No, not at all.
So score prediction: Baltimore Eagles.
Mike, this game kind of worries me. It scares me.
Yeah, I agree.
We're playing in Baltimore, so Baltimore has the advantage. Have we seen the line yet? What's the line set?
That I don't know.
Let me take a look right here on FanDuel. As soon as it loads up here.
So I like to use ESPN Bet. I've been using that lately. I was able to win a parlay last week, so that was
nice. Congratulations. Okay, so it's 3.
Eagles are favored by 3.
Eagles are underdogs by 3.
Underdogs by 3. Okay.
So, with that being said, I don't see a hook on there.
Mm-mm.
The over/under is 50, and I was thinking 28-24.
That's a good one. Close, but Eagles victory.
An Eagles victory.
Okay, 28-24. I was thinking a little bit. I was thinking 28-17.
Okay.
The Eagles have been kind of keeping teams close to that 17 mark over the past few weeks, and they are scoring majority of their games are 28 points or more. I think watching the Ravens defense, they are not that great. I don't think they will be able to contain AJ Brown. I think AJ Brown's going to have the breakout game. They have some small corners, and I think AJ Brown's going to run rampant on these guys. I don't think we're going to see a huge game from Saquon, and I don't think we're going to see a huge game from Derrick Henry either. I think it's going to be between Jalen and Lamar this week.
So if you were building a parlay for this game, what would you do? Let's see.
We would do like AJ Brown over 80 yards receiving.
AJ Brown over 80.
Yeah, I know like the parlays like to do that.
Yeah.
Saquon Barkley under 100 yards rushing.
Okay.
What
about Barkley over what?
Lamar Jackson.
Saquon,
I think under 100 yards rushing.
Yeah. So you said the same thing for Henry.
Same thing with Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry and Saquon under 100 yards. Jalen's going to have at least a rushing and a passing touchdown.
Okay.
Yeah, because I think Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Justin Herbert. Mark's not here to argue with me, so I'm saying that right now.
Say it out now, yeah.
And I watched Justin Herbert make some really good passes, and his receivers could just not catch. Like Quinn Johnston last night, he couldn't catch. He threw a ball right to his face, and he couldn't catch it.
Yeah, I didn't get to see any of the game. I just saw a couple highlights here and there. But
so it was telling that I think the Ravens were either looking past the Chargers, and they were looking for the Eagles, or they were just they're not that good of a team.
I heard that the Chargers really gave the game away because they went for 2 instead of tying the game.
Yeah.
Trying to take the lead instead of making it I think it was like a 9-point game. They missed a 2-pointer, and that's how Baltimore was able to come back.
Yep. Yeah.
So
it's that was Harbaugh. That's Harbaugh's gunslinger mentality.
Yeah. Try to put him away. 2-possession game. I understand that. But I never sleep on Jim Harbaugh. Like he's a good coach. I've always liked him. Yeah. I've always wished that the Eagles would have kept him after he was a special teams coach with us as on the coaching staff, maybe on the defensive side or whatever.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he got the job in Baltimore, and he hasn't looked back. I mean, I think he's been there over 10 years.
Long time. Yeah, he's been there quite a long time. Yeah.
So
he's been there through what? He left when Andy Reid was coaching the Eagles.
Right.
And so he was there for Chip. He's been there longer than Chip, longer than Doug, longer than
Sirianni.
And then longer than Sirianni. So yeah, he's been there for a long time.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm always a big believer coaches is worth at least 7 points. So that's why I say this game is going to be tough. I mean, because I know they got good players on offense. Their defense might be a little bit skeptical, which keeps the Eagles in this game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, my 28-24 prediction is probably going to hold up.
Yeah, that's pretty close. I think so.
Yeah.
I think a big game from AJ Brown. He was a monster against the Rams. Like they needed him. They took he needed those passes, and they needed him, and they got what they needed. I was impressed by that. Everybody should have an AJ Brown.
No, not everybody should have an AJ. Or just us, Mike. Just us.
Well, just take us. Okay, cool. Before we head out, we just hit 13,000 followers on Instagram.
Go.
Crazy amount.
Go.
Amazing.
When are the sponsors coming in?
Looking for sponsors. Come on. We're growing, and we hit 12,000 in September. So it took us 1,000 to get in 2 months to another 1,000. So we're climbing the ranks of I guess Eagles pages on Instagram. So people want to collab. People collab. We collab. So
sounds good to me. We're all talking about the same thing, right? Eagles football. That's all.
That's right. That's all it is. That's all we're doing. So yeah, have a good Thanksgiving, Miguel.
Underneath the cosmic expanse where dreams take flight.
Thank you for being here. I know
in the boundless night. Through the starless trails and the galaxy's bloom. We set forth on a journey in the cosmic gloom.
Yeah, I hear you.
You got that drive home. It's a stressful day.
In the tapestry of constellations where destinies are linked. Pilgrims of the cosmos in the grand design. Through the echoes of pulses in the celestial rhyme. We walk the cosmic path in this Odyssey prime.
Getting it done for people to listen to this while they're cooking in their kitchens.
On the journey of life, pilgrims of the cosmos.
Coming out on Thanksgiving Day.
Guided by a distant star. Through the realms of wonder and the galactic bars. We march on as pilgrims of the cosmos.
As always, we thank you, Mike, for starting up this podcast. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of it.
In the vastness of nebulous where mysteries entwine. Pilgrims in the cosmos in the cosmic shrine. Through the orbits of planets and the comet stripe.
Yes.
We navigate the cosmos beyond the cosmic.
He brings a lot of energy. So he does bring a lot of energy.
He does, especially when I don't have any at fucking midnight.
In the tapestry of constellations where destinies are lit. Pilgrims of the cosmos in the grand design.
So thanks again, Miguel. I'm glad you are part of this.
Yes, sir. And happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there listening and paying attention to us.
On the journey of life, pilgrims of the cosmos we are. A celestial quest
even recommend this to other people.
Through the realms of wonder and the galactic bars. We march on as pilgrims of the cosmos afar.
EAGLES.
Eagles.
Let's go birds.
As the cosmic currents carry us to realms unknown. Pilgrims of the cosmos where destinies are sound. Through the galaxies and the cosmic memoirs. We journey on as pilgrims of the cosmos under cosmic stars.